Hey friends, welcome to Eyezz. I'm Jarrett New, and I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I personally stay up late just to stay up late. I guess I just feel like my mind is more active and alert at night. I also feel like I'm more creative too, and very often I edit these videos while listening to my favorite music really late at night. Now, at some point I decide, okay, it's finally time to go to sleep, but then something weird happens. I can't fall asleep. My active mind just doesn't let me. But then I found that by playing certain types of soothing, tranquil, ambient music actually helps me clear my head and drift off to sleep. So those are the albums we're going to be talking about today. And my hope is that these special albums can help you sleep just like they helped me. Okay, so there are 5 albums in this list, and we'll start at number 5 and work our way up to the absolute best, most calming, most relaxing album I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sure the top album will actually surprise you, so stick around to see what it is. But before we begin, I wanted to say that I usually love to buy vinyl records, of course. However, when I'm playing music to fall asleep to, I feel it's better to play CDs, that way I don't have to get up to flip the record or lift the needle. So with that in mind, let's begin. Number 5 is Harold Budd and Brian Eno's album, The Pearl. Now, for those of you who love ambient music, you're probably already familiar with Brian Eno's work. He is a master of the genre, and his earlier albums are perfect for inducing sleep, meditating, exercising, studying, and just plain zoning out. The Pearl is no different. It's an album that I discovered online, and I really just fell in love with it. During the 4th track on this album, Against the Sky, it really starts to mellow you out and just put you in the dreamy mindset. It's an album that you're gonna love to play over and over again. So let's move on. Number 4 is also Harold Budd and Brian Eno, and it's their album Ambient 2, The Plateaux of Mirror. Now, this is the last Brian Eno album on this list, so don't worry about us not having some variety. There's a lot of great stuff here, and Ambient 2 is no exception. Unlike The Pearl, this ambient album dives off the deep end right away. From the very first track, you are transported to an ethereal cosmic dimension. Your mind will feel as if it's floating through space, exploring the stars, and marveling at their incredible beauty. And you might be wondering, why did I pick Ambient 2 and not the other ambient works by Brian Eno? Well, in my experience, I just prefer this one the most. So let's move on. Number 3 is See Oleena, Shallow. This great album is perfect for sleeping or just chilling out, and it's the only album on this list that I own on vinyl record. I have to be careful when I listen to this because it is so peaceful. What I usually do is I sit up in my bed with my back against the wall, and I wear a good pair of headphones with the volume on low. And what usually happens is I reach a meditative state where I'm not asleep, but I'm not fully conscious either. I'm kind of at the border of sleep. And what's really cool is that I usually reach this state only halfway through this cool album. By the time side A is finished on this, I am so relaxed that I can only muster the strength to get out of bed, lift the needle, turn everything off, and then crash. So anyway, let's move on to the next album. Number 2 is Robert Rich, Trances and Drones. Robert Rich is an astonishing musician unlike any other. His music reaches in and it touches your very soul, and it will definitely move you in a way unlike anything you've ever experienced. That's how I felt when I first heard it. And if we're comparing Brian Eno to Robert Rich, I'd say that Brian Eno's earlier work is focused on the sounds of space, tranquility, and childlike wonder, whereas Robert Rich's albums evoke deeper, more natural and tribal themes like religion, purpose, and meaning. Robert's albums are perfect for exploring within the depths of your own mind. This one is bound to give you amazing dreams, so give it a listen. Okay, now we've reached the number 1 album for Insomnia, but before I tell you what it is, I want to announce a quick honorable mention, and that is Rudy, Adrian, Moonwater. This is a great, peaceful, and relaxing album that I just couldn't fit into this list, but you should still definitely check it out because you're gonna love that one as well. Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Number 1 is Robert Rich, Nest. This is the the perfect album to fall asleep to, and I mean that in the best possible way. This album is by far the best album I've ever encountered that can just calm my mind and body and give me a great night's rest. I've listened to this one many times with headphones, and it never ceases to amaze me. It's the perfect blend between nature and wonder. It's the absolute best. You should definitely give it a listen because I'm so glad that I did. Now, have you guys heard any of these? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, join the Vinyl Revolution and hit subscribe because I'm going to be coming out with a lot of great videos every week that you're not going to want to miss. Be sure to find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. All the links are in the description below, and most importantly, friends, keep spinning that vinyl.